Tom, I'd like to ask you, building on what Andre has been presenting, all these trends. Now, you are running all these Spinneys and Waitrose stores. How do you see these things land on your shop floors?
Well, it's been very similar to exactly what Andre has said. We've absolutely lived and breathed that pretty much every day since February, when we first started to see the trends. Undoubtedly, panic buying was the first stage. People buying larger packs, people buying enormous quantities, but on a much less frequent basis. And I think when Andre was making the point about people seeing or perceiving that prices have increased, a lot of that is actually just about how the average basket that they were purchasing in an individual transaction had changed. We've then seen shifts in the types of products that people are buying, clearly as a result of reduced frequency of going to the stores, whether that was a physical requirement because we were under the restrictions, the permits to move, longer life products, ambient grocery. Frozen has continued to be a very strong area for us. Anything that's got a focus on health and well-being. So it's exactly what Andre said again. Organic continues to be really important. A focus on scratch cooking has been important. Huge increases in the sales of multivitamins and health and well-being products have been noticed. And then we've also seen changes in people's consumption habits and their behaviours. So we would spend a lot of time looking at our share of stomach as well as our share of trade within modern trade. And clearly, people haven't been able to have the experiences either in a restaurant that they used to or going to the cinema. So our sales of popcorn and sharing bags of confectionery went through the roof because they couldn't go to the restaurants. We've absolutely seen that drive to an increase in premium because people have wanted to continue to enjoy high quality restaurant grade food at home, and Spinneys and Waitrose were clearly well placed to meet that need for quality. And those elements have continued then, I think, as food has become a pastime, the preparation of food, that's again come into the well-being. So people have wanted to focus on how they actually use the food to pass their time. Home baking has become a massive element. The other big things we've seen in some of the trends with customers has been how the loyalty to brands changed. When we were absolutely in the midst of the panic buying, we, like every other retailer, were constrained on availability on individual items. And we suddenly saw that the loyalty of a brand was no longer as important as the need to have that particular item. So tinned tomatoes, providing I could buy tinned tomatoes, I was happy as a customer. And that was the mindset. And I think that has created both some challenges and some opportunities for some of the local brands to consider how we might position things as we go forwards. The other thing I'd want to just say to sort of finish on this question is that we would absolutely say that for our consumers, the pandemic is not over. It's not as if we have done COVID. Lives continue to be disrupted, and there are major events that will continue to be subject to significant change in how consumers consume. We saw this within Ramadan, when people couldn't go out and enjoy large amounts of food, and we'll see it again this week with what happens with Halloween, because people won't be able to trick and treat in the same way. So there is still a lot of change that we're going to see happen.